Welcome to Not Man Enough Podcast. We are doing our first video, maybe, if it works. Last time we kind of thought that we were doing video and it did not work at all. So welcome if this is the first time finding us. We're a podcast kind of about a lot of different things. But anyway, I'm Jonathan and we have Sam, Matt. We've got Tren behind the board.
What up?
Yeah. So
he's too distracted to switch the camera view.
yeah.
That's okay.
There I am.
Oh, there
There
he
it
is.
is. Yeah.
What's
so
up, guys?
Look, it's our first time we're doing live editing in a sense and camera switching and all that. So if it looks kind of, a little
Elementary?
yes, it is. It is. Anyway, welcome. Anyway, what have y'all been up to this week? What's going on?
Yeah, a lot of work. We at work, wherever that is. Who knows? You're not gonna know. You're not gonna know.
Unless you scroll back.
I'm trying to remember that you're not gonna know where that is. But yeah, at work we had a big state tournament. Who knows what state? State soccer tournament. Who knows where that tournament was held?
Anyway,
So I worked about total like 60 hours or so.
Man,
plus,
dang.
and it was.
let's go.
It's just been busy. Yeah,
Let's go.
It's fun until you start just seeing the poop pile up in the barns that you clean out. Who knows where the barns are? Who knows what the poop comes from?
What we learned from
right.
Sam's week is never tell Sam any secrets.
Yeah.
he won't tell them, but he'll
just tell you everything else.
I'll hint at him.
yeah.
Yeah.
He'll tell you all about how he's not going to tell them.
Yeah, that's about it. Are you asking
Yeah.
about this? No. Oh, okay. But no, one week's been okay. It's just been work.
Yeah.
Work. Just sitting around, work.
I'll tell you this though, it was super rewarding the work I did because whenever you have a bunch of people come in to see what I mow. That's what I do. I mow, I cut grass, and I try to do the best I can at it. I'm very acoustic at it, I'm very acoustic in a lot of ways.
You can say autistic.
Oh, I can?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can say autistic.
I have autism.
He's trying not to flag things by not being.
Dude, I'm being very
I was
careful.
like, what is he talking about? Acoustic?
We named two words you can't say, and then you're
I didn't know.
I was wondering, what in the world does he mean by acoustic?
the-
Anyway, that's
I
hilarious.
was like, does he have internal reverb? I'm like, what's happening right now?
No, but I try to do the best I can at my job. Okay, fair enough.
Nice.
That doesn't make me autistic, but I can be very OCD about things. And what's very rewarding, though, is that everyone complimented the grass, the fields, the soccer fields and stuff, and how it looked like fairways and stuff like that, how it looked really nice. And so that felt good.
But
It
if they
feels good
barely-
when people see it.
if they barely tap the soccer ball, though, it rolls for a mile.
Dude, it does. And that's what's awesome about it. And they actually like that. The only thing, though, is that the second half of these soccer games, they are wore out. Because from what I've heard from people that play at, like, I'm already messing up.
It's okay.
Anyway,
Okay,
It
people
doesn't
that
matter
play
that
at a
much.
certain soccer park, who knows what. And it's not just a soccer. Who knows? It's a whole complex of different things.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm making it worse. Anyway, they said, like, grass is always high. No one uses, like, real mowers like they do on golf courses and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which we do. And I pride myself in it. I love doing it. But they're used to kicking a soccer ball, and it slows down real fast because the grass is taller. When it's not, it rolls, so they get really tired. It's fun, but they like it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
they're appreciative, and it makes me feel good. So, thank you, whoever you are, in whatever state you're in, and appreciate that because I work my tail off.
What about you, Matt? You're
Yeah. Like I said, my week's been pretty boring, just working. But Sam did show me a picture of the fields he was mowing.
The acoustic stripes.
Yeah, and they were. It looks like Augusta. Is what it looks like.
Man.
It was.
I get
perfect.
paid $16. Not even kidding.
Yeah, he's not releasing very vague information. He's releasing deep personal information.
This is what
instead.
what I tell people is my boss is lucky I don't work for him, but for the Lord.
That's true.
yeah. No, it's yeah, that's good.
How was your week?
Really, really busy. Trying to get this studio functional just a little bit. Like, man, dude, I ran into so many problems. Like, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I thought I had everything like set up and ready to go, and like I hit record and was testing out all the stuff, and like the screen was divided in half, and then half of it was appearing on the other side of my head. Like, I don't even know how that happens. And then like it was recording at like twice the speed.
Poltergeist, yeah.
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
And it was rough. But anyway, I got it. I think everything's working.
Knock on your desk.
No, I'm not that kind
That's
of
good.
guy.
That's good.
I'll knock on
I
it for you.
refuse. I refuse. I'm not gay. Anyway,
Where's the
I
mug?
ain't
Where's the
scared.
mug?
Where's the mug? Anyway, it's been a good week, man. It's been a good week. It's just it hasn't been much of a, you know, I don't see my family much. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, Trent, what about you?
Good. Yeah, I mean, work like the rest of you. So me and Matt work at the same undisclosed place and do the same undisclosed thing.
Can I say what it is?
No. So yeah, we get to work together, which is fun. But other than that, just some house chores. I hung up curtains. Well, I'd help doing that, and anything like that.
Newlywed, and
Yeah.
he's already whipped.
That's why I just got someone else to do it for me. So,
You paid someone to hang up curtains?
No, of course not. No,
You made your wife do it?
no, it wasn't that either.
It was slave labor.
No, what
then.
am I-
I mean,
no.
obviously it's
It was-
slave labor at this point.
We had my brother-in-law and sister-in-law over, and he had a drill, and I was like, "Hey, I need you to bring the drill," and I was just gonna do it, but instead
Sure.
he took over and just did it for me,
Sure.
and then did it incorrectly at one point, which is fine. But yeah.
Quick
Why-
question: did that make you feel like less of a man?
No, I really didn't care. I didn't want to do it at all.
I wouldn't have either.
It's like I really don't
I
want
just
to do
wanted to
this.
attack you for no reason.
Okay, but right over there, across the room, there is an extra drill, and take it when you
Yeah,
leave.
and I was supposed to grab it and I forgot.
Anyway, this week I've worked a decent amount of hours too. And so anyway, I've been trying to keep up with the news a little bit, but dude, there's some crazy stuff going on.
It's been a busy week.
It
in the
is
news.
crazy. Like the whole thing about Biden. Like, have you heard about this at all? Like any of y'all?
With the prostate?
Yeah,
cancer?
so prostate cancer, obviously, it's a very slow moving cancer, and for it to go like terminal, like to move on to like other parts of the body and stuff like that, it takes like a decade, and so everybody pretty much knows that he knew about it, and said nothing. They were still going to put him forward. They were still trying to make him president of the United States after knowing that he couldn't hardly complete a sentence. Did y'all also hear the video of him doing the interview
Yes.
about his son?
Yep.
Dude, it's bad.
It's honestly, it made me sad just listening to it.
It did.
Yeah.
And how his wife could even do that to him is like, that's crazy. Like, that is crazy. Like, his family is sick. Like,
Yeah.
they're twisted, man. And like, I feel for the guy. I mean, we need to pray for him and everything else, but like, it is very twisted that they tried to cover it up. They tried to hide it, and they tried to make him president just to stay in power. And I actually think that, look, and this is my opinion. I don't know. I don't have any insider information. Like, it's not like we're a news program. We do deep research here.
Our reporter on the ground.
Our reporter on the ground was getting
We'll
back
switch.
to us, and pretty sure that anyway. But the fact of the matter is I don't think the Democrats minded at all that he was completely gone. I think they loved it because I think that his administration could slide anything across the desk for him to sign, and he just signed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like that's what was going on.
100%.
And so I think that that's why they wanted him back, and I think that's why they also went after Kamala Harris because it's not much different. Anyway,
so she definitely doesn't have prostate cancer. I can promise you that. But
if it's so slow going, then why did it take so long for them to recognize it or something? They said it's in his bones now or something?
Yeah, so that's part of it, is that's the thing that is kind of making everybody question. Because either, like, they didn't go through regular protocol because they were afraid that he did have it and didn't want it to get out and want it to be known. That's one theory, which, hey, maybe. And the other the other theory is that which that's even more twisted, by the way.
Yeah.
But the other theory is that he did know, and he's been knowing, and it's just spread. I mean, just that simple.
I can tell you exactly what happened.
Oh, you really?
It's just very obvious because they lied for years since 2018, 2019, saying he's in the best shape of his life. He's so clear mentally. This guy's on point. And it's like they just lied day in and day out, knowing that he was on a downward spiral.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, yeah, of course they would hide something like this. Of course they would be like, they wouldn't want the public to know that he has terminal cancer.
Well, I mean, look, it was obvious that he was losing his mind. Like, I mean, he's gone. Like, I mean, he's not functionally there, and it was obvious, and now they're acting like even that was a shock. Whatever. It's
what was it?
You can't trust our media.
Is it who is it? Is it Wolf Blitzer that just put out the book?
No, Jake Tapper.
Jake Tapper. Yeah, that just put out the book about Joe Biden's, like how they hid Joe Biden's. Well, what's crazy is if you just go back a couple years, you see all the clips of him.
Jake Tapper taking up
Tapper
and saying
himself saying, like, defending Joe Biden's
saying that he was the best that he's ever been. Yeah,
ability or whatever you want to call it, cognitive, ability, and it's just so wild. And it's like the fact that people don't see through that is just mind-boggling to me.
Look, the bottom line is you can't trust our media. So come to us as a source. No, I'm just kidding. That's bad enough. I tell you something else that's just really, now this one, this one really makes me upset. And this is a hard, this is actually a hard story no matter what, because it's sad. But I don't know if y'all have heard this story yet, but I think it's in Atlanta. And there's a woman who was 9 weeks pregnant. And she had a headache. She went into the hospital, and they gave her medicine and sent her home. And when she went home, she formed blood clots in her brain. And when she went back to the hospital, essentially I guess she had like an aneurysm or something, but basically she died. And they're keeping her body alive. And she's brain dead. So she's brain dead. The child is in her womb, and they're trying to save the child. The doctors are, because they said that the new laws that were passed there, the heartbeat bill, demands that they do it. Well, it's true. I mean, I'm for it.
Yeah. No, I'm not arguing against it.
Crazy.
It's definitely not true that the laws demand that.
Well, the doctors are claiming that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that. I don't know the law, so I'm not going to talk to that. But the bottom line is that the grandma of the daughter, and look, I hate to see any family go through this, so I want to make that clear. Like, that's bad enough, and that family, needs to be in our prayers and all that stuff, and the best outcome. Look, it's a hard situation, and that is a hard situation. But she is calling for them to unplug her daughter because she doesn't want to take care of that child.
Oh, that's the reason?
Yeah, she said, he might be born like messed up, and I'm 50 years old.
That's evil.
Dude, it is
seriously
sick.
evil.
So like the Democrats are using this, and I think even maybe it was Hillary Clinton was even talking about this, I think in response to something in an interview. Maybe I'm wrong. Double check me on that, because I'm not going to sit there and claim. But I did hear her saying that basically the Republicans and you know, MAGA just want to make women just these baby producing machines and stuff. And this is kind of a
I
deal.
did hear that.
And so it's like these people are arguing that they should unplug this woman just to kill the baby. All the while, like we just talked about, you had a president of the United States literally going brain dead, and they wanted to prop him up in a wheelchair for another 4 years just to stay in power.
Wow.
These people are sick, man. They're twisted, and the bottom line is save the baby. Don't make more of a tragedy. Like, don't make a tragedy even worse.
So,
yeah.
Well, question, is that possible? Like that situation, like the baby being...
They've
like,
never
how does that work? I'm assuming that's never been done.
Do they just have to cut it out at some point?
Yeah, I mean, it would be C-section.
Well, I'm even talking about developmentally, though. Like, how does that even work?
Well, I mean, they're obviously feeding her all the nutrients that she needs. And, I mean, I'm speaking like I'm a doctor, but obviously for this baby to grow, that would be a must, and to keep the lady's body essentially alive. Not in the truest sense, but, yeah, I mean, and functional. Then they're giving this lady this body, I guess, all the nutrients and stuff like that, and it is possible they've done it. I think they've done it before, but I don't think they've ever done it at such an early part of the pregnancy. But it's just the fact that these people are using this opportunity to sit there and make a claim about how pro-life people want to force women to have babies and all this. It's like, man, give me a break. But anyway.
Yeah. The language force people to have babies.
It's just so stupid.
Now, around this, obviously, it's a little different. You know, it's like this is a really extreme outlier.
This is not a normal situation.
Yeah, because like this wouldn't have happened 20 years ago because we didn't have the technology to do this 20 years ago.
Right.
But the force someone to have a baby always just is so wild to me to even say that sentence out loud.
Well, I heard another commentator say it might have been Matt Walsh. It probably was. Sounds like him. Is that, and I think he's right, is that he was like, go 20 years ago, though, and ask any woman, like, if something was to happen to her and she was pregnant, if they would want them to keep her going as long as it took to have that baby. Every single woman back then would have said yes. Well, he says that every woman, no woman that's pregnant wants to lose their baby.
Well, I was just thinking, it's like, if you think in terms of the mother of this situation, it's like, do you not think that she would want for the baby to be alive at any cost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a mother's heart.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the argument he was making. But anyway, that's a whatever, sad situation. Just look, look, Democrats, man.
It's evil.
Anyway,
it's genuinely evil.
They went so far that it's just it's insane. But and I don't think that the Republicans have everything figured out. I got my disagreements with them. But what I don't have a disagreement about is what Trump. I don't know if he signed something to get this going or whatever, but he's basically saying it's going to be done before his term is up, and that is what. So you got this missile defense system, and it was called, in
Israel.
In Israel, it's called the Iron Dome.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course, being Trump, he calls it. I don't like this name. He calls it the Gold Dome.
Which, funny enough, is also the name that he uses for his toilet in his penthouse apartment.
Is it?
No.
I was going to say.
He poops on a dome?
I mean, it's... Well,
seems like it just slide off.
But didn't he have a completely like gold-plated bathroom at one point?
I mean, dude, he came... When he announced that he was running for president, he came down a golden escalator.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that this guy has, like, gold is like it. But I don't think that's a good name.
No, I don't think so either.
Gold really doesn't hold up.
What would you name it?
I don't know. You know what? I would name it something better than that because to me, the Golden Dome, it just sounds like a bald superhero name. Like,
well, whenever you told me that, I only thought of like Notre Dame or the Dome on the Rock.
Right. I thought that too, but even the Diamond Dome. Diamonds are hard. Like,
yeah.
They're even clear.
You know what else is hard? David Goggins. David Goggins is hard.
David Goggins is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's call it the David Goggins Dome.
Dude, that would actually be. You know how many people would get on board with that though?
Absolutely.
Like
I'd actually, I think what I'd call it is just the Truman Dome.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I like that. Yeah.
Truman Dome's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Shout out Truman. Hope you're out of there.
That was a real life documentary.
Hope you made it out.
I didn't know it was fictional.
You know,
oh, I thought we were all watching this.
I'm just saying though, I don't have a name for it, but it's probably like second in the running of my favorite dome. First would be Modern Warfare 3 map. I don't know if y'all remember that one.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that's my favorite dome. But this would be a close second.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
So,
know, man.
I think we just call it the better Iron Dome.
I think we just call it like shut up and sit down because you ain't doing nothing to us. I mean, the bottom, dude. The thing I love about it is the fact that like if we get that up and running, no one will ever think about going to war with us because they can't. We have no threats as far as that.
Well, already the U.S. has such a advantage geographically.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're surrounded, like C on both sides, Canada. Canada and Mexico.
So that's another thing
Canada.
that Trump was mentioning, by the way, and we need to move on. But Trump mentioned that, dude, I don't know if he just threw this in there to troll. He said, and Canada wants to be a part of this system, and I think he said something like, of course. Of course they do. I mean, he said something and it was like obviously like, oh yeah, we'll include them because they need to be our 51st state. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of what he was implying.
We'll preemptively wrap them in the dome.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Once you're in the dome, you don't get out.
Yeah. I have a.
Yeah, you have a clip.
No, before that though.
Okay.
A sad, somber thing to mention in recent news.
Uh-oh,
is that
like serious?
It is serious.
Okay.
It's very serious.
But he's smiling.
Yeah, well, that's because it's not that serious. But
on a serious level, it's barely above 500.
No, you didn't.
It's at 6.
It's at like 6. But the Outdoor Boys.
Oh yeah.
Quit YouTube. And
okay, why are you smiling right now?
well, it's because
this isn't something you smile about.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Wipe it off your face. You're still doing it.
I got the tears out earlier. Thinking about this, but
What stage of grief is this?
yeah,
Happy?
it is kind of sad.
Part of it.
Can I
wholesome YouTube videos? Even though he's a Mormon, wholesome YouTube videos.
He was a Mormon?
Yeah, he was a
He
Mormon.
is a Mormon.
Yeah.
But he made great.
Even a missionary at one point.
Yeah, they all have.
Aren't
to be.
they all?
Yeah, they all have to be. Yeah.
I don't get the religion. I don't know.
I don't understand it.
You get a planet, okay?
But
that's all you need.
He was a great YouTuber and quit because he got too famous. Like, that's wild.
That's going to be our problem.
Yeah.
Hey,
Guys, this might be our only episode.
you know who else just did this in music was the band Our Last Night.
Oh, yeah.
Very similar situation of like they just wanted to spend more time with family, and so that's basically what they did. They're just like, hey, this is our last tour. They're still a band. They're still going to release YouTube music, but after the summer, they're not going to tour.
Yeah.
Again.
But if you hadn't watched Outdoor Boys, I think his channel. I mean, I don't think he's going to take his channel down, but his videos are great. I love watching them late at night.
I don't think I've ever seen them.
Oh, they're so good.
They are fantastic.
Yeah, they're so good. It's just survival.
Just
stuff.
imagine if Bear Grylls was a taller, wider, like Mormon guy.
Yeah.
But this guy wears a white shirt and a black tie the whole time.
He rides a bike too.
The difference between him and
Every
Bear Grylls
location.
is he actually does the things that he's saying he does, and he doesn't stay in like a Motel 6 down the road.
We're talking
You
about
can't-
conspiracy theories.
You look.
Yeah.
He doesn't
can't
stay in
just-
a hotel room because he's too busy knocking on doors.
You can't just slander.
Alaska.
You can't just slander Bear Grylls like that. You are slandering Bear Grylls right now
I will slander him all day. He's a fraud.
because you do not know that as a fact. Who knows?
I think that Bear Grylls was legit in his day. Like, hold on. Not in the show, but the dude was like a special force guy.
Yeah, he was in special forces.
For
look,
England,
look.
guys, the UK.
Yeah, well, whatever.
What do they have? You know.
No, I'm not saying the dude's like a pansy or something like that. I'm just saying he faked survival stuff for a show. It was a show. I'll give him that. If it's just for entertainment,
educational.
Just be open about that. But the way cooler guy was the guy that did Survivor Man during that time.
Yes.
And then even better than both of those is Outdoor
Outdoor
Boys,
Boys.
because he just takes the camera out into negative 20-degree wilderness Alaska
I've
with
never
no
seen 'em.
tent. And it's just like, I'm going to build a snow fortress thing and just sleep in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually
Pretty
walks out there
awesome.
with like, he'll have like a gun and like a foldable fishing pole.
Yeah.
And,
And
and
it's
just
like actual,
you know,
like,
it's pretty
you know,
sweet.
Okay, we're all
That's cool.
depressed. I don't know who they are. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I hadn't even heard about this. I don't know anything about him. So
it was big. It was big news.
it was big news.
It was.
Hey, it's a rough week. It was that and our last night at the same
both
time. I was
quit.
like, you've got to be kidding. This
All
is
right.
crazy.
Did we want to finish up what kind of
Yeah.
things that are going on this week with? I think we have a clip.
This was about a week old, or a couple weeks old. The date
Yeah.
of the camera footage is from like this month, so it's recent news.
Yeah.
Are we doing the clip you sent me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Let's see here. Do we have it?
We do.
Are we watching Jonathan's face? Looks nice.
Please tell me why you stopping me?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Huh?
I'm about to.
What?
I'm about to tell you.
Stop sign?
No, I said
What stop sign, man?
I said I'm about to tell you.
Huh? You say stop sign?
No one said stop sign but you.
Why you stopping me?
You made an improper right-hand turn. When you turn onto a new road, you got to turn that closest lane, sir.
Let me get my ID out for your partner.
I appreciate you, man. Can you hand me the beer as well?
Huh?
Can you hand me the beer? The beer? Can you hand me the beer?
The alcohol. There's no beer in there.
I can see it. It's right
Hey, hold it. Don't be searching my car.
Oh.
We gonna stop me talking about I have a stop sign. What's going on here?
We had an open container in the car.
Wow. Turn.
What?
Why did you stop me in the beginning?
you-
What's the proper call?
You made an improper right-hand turn.
What is the proper call?
You had to turn into the closest lane provided.
I want you to say that right here.
I did multiple times.
What? Your proper right-hand turn?
Yes, that's why you're being stopped.
Are you for real? Like,
And then you also have a beer.
I was at a house and y'all got a warrant to arrest me
I did?
about an improper turn.
No one
Are you
got-
kidding me?
No one got a warrant to arrest you. You just traffic.
Piss me off, man.
How much you drink tonight?
Wait a minute. I gave you my bank card too?
No. This is your license.
I like this
Mr.
guy.
Officer, I'm over here. How much you have to drink tonight?
Sir?
How much did you drink tonight?
Who?
How much did you drink tonight?
I don't really drink.
That was the beer you were just trying to grab out of my hand.
I ain't feeling like it.
What? You not drunk?
I swear to God.
Hold on. Y'all are missing the best part. Hold on. I'm going to skip back.
Oh man.
All right. Just hold up.
That's
Y'all
so
gotta
good.
hear this. It's so good.
Oh, dude, I love this video.
I don't really drink.
That was the beer you were just trying to grab out of my hand.
I ain't feeling like it. I don't drink.
What? You don't drunk?
I swear to God, I don't drink. All because of an improper turn, as y'all say. A misdemeanor. Ain't that a
Misdemeanor.
It's like, what is going on?
That's how you need to finish up news every time,
Oh,
just to
dude.
make you laugh.
That's funny.
That is good,
I didn't know Samuel L. Jackson lived in Dade
Oh, dude.
County.
Dude.
dude. That's so good. Like, I almost want to argue out of like,
What?
like
Stop sign.
Hey, give him a pass.
Hold on, let me ask you this: could you handle that any better? Honestly, that was handled pretty well.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't drink.
I would definitely want to.
I like that he raised his
I would want to
hand.
be around him just for how entertaining it'd be, but only for a little bit, maybe at work or something like that. You know, not permanently.
Yeah,
but
you need breaks.
What's funny is he was actually pretty nice. Like, you could tell he was like,
Yeah.
he was trying to be nice so they don't arrest him, but he's also trying to like.
He was trying to make something out of
You
it.
can't search my car. He had an open beer can.
Yeah.
But I like that he was kind of arguing. He's like, oh, you want my license? You want my license? Here you
you
go.
need my bank card.
He's
a bank card, too.
He said, maybe I give you my bank card.
Hey, the best part was the officer's response. He goes, "Nah, man, this is your license." He's like, "All right." Like,
That's funny.
Huh?
Well,
Improper
sign.
turn.
Which he says if you hear
stop sign?
somebody's gonna
Stop sign?
somebody's gonna hear that and think like, oh, maybe the cop did just pull him over for dumb reasons. But if you listen closely, he says
He jumped from an outside
he
lane.
turned from outside lane
Yeah.
and turned right.
He was all the way, apparently, it sounded like he was all the way in a left-hand lane.
Yeah,
And
and then
jumped
turned.
over a whole lane. And, anyway. No, dude, I don't know if I could be, I couldn't be a police officer.
I don't know.
There's
Days
no
like
way.
that, I could be. That's funny.
Although, that is funny.
Yeah.
That one would probably make me laugh.
He wasn't trying to like murder you or anything.
That was fine.
I'd rather be in like SWAT or something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, I did want to talk about. So our main subject today is.
Hold up. You forgot something. We were going to react to Superman.
No, we're
Trailer.
not yet.
Okay, guess we'll wait.
That's not yet.
Somebody didn't pay attention
Someone
to
didn't read the format.
Somebody didn't read the format.
Somebody didn't go through the schedule of things.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
just, hey, that's a teaser though.
And somebody has like six
That's a little-
screens in front of them.
Yeah,
and
that's
still-
a- that's
I
a
don't
little-
even have a phone, and I knew that ain't coming up anytime soon.
That's a little teaser for you. What Superman? I don't know. You're here to find out. Stay tuned.
Maybe it's another DUI video.
Maybe it's another DUI. Just that the guy's dressed up as Superman. Anyway, let's move on. The main subject that we're going to talk about today is it's sad. It's not a great subject. It's something that I think does need to be talked about within the Christian community, and especially as men, because I think that we need to have an accurate way of battling this, and thinking about it, and not being overly confident in ourselves that we're above it. And that's what I want to talk about is slander within the church. And the reason why we're going to talk about that is because in last week or two, we've had a situation where there was a guy, I don't know why his name's eluding me right now.
Josh Buice.
Josh Buice, thank you. And he was over a huge conference, G3 conference. He had started it up, and he was also elder at a church. And apparently, I don't understand all what went on. I don't. But he created fake accounts where he gave it another name, and then he used those accounts to essentially go against people within the church, people that were actually talking in his conference, which was a huge conference. G3 basically takes over Atlanta. Like, when did they have it?
Smurf account.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Sorry.
And I'm a gamer, but
I
I'm
got
not
it.
an online gamer. Anyway,
Yeah, it's more of a online gamer thing.
apparently.
You wouldn't know about it. You with all your storage backed up.
The bottom line is that he basically created these accounts, and he was using it to speak against fellow believers, fellow elders. His fellow elders at his church, like that he was an elder at the church, and he was actually speaking against them and using these accounts to even come against them. And when he was asked about it, he denied it. And then it just got so the evidence got so irrefutable that basically they came to him and said, like we pretty much know it's you. And then he did admit to it, and he did ask for forgiveness, and he's repented, and that's great. And I think that we don't need to forget that aspect of it. I think that we need to give thanks to God that he has admitted to it and that he is repentant and going through that process. But anyway, the whole G3 conference has been shut down. I don't know if it's ever coming back or not, but it was a huge deal.
I think it probably will return. I don't think it. I don't
know.
It just depends. I mean, this definitely hurts the whole.
It hurts it.
The whole brand for sure. It definitely hurts it, and that's sad because it's a good. It was a good conference. It's a good conference. It's a good. The whole G3 network or whatever is pretty good.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just sad when you see this kind of stuff because it does just the effect that it has on so many people of this one man's sin, how it affects so many people, which is I think a warning against toward all of us of realizing like, okay, like these, like what you do, even what you think is in private, actually affects other people too.
So what was it that he actually did? Like, what were the accounts, and then what things did he actually? What was said?
Pretty much. I'm not going to go into like a lot of detail, but I've looked into it a little bit. But pretty much the summary of it is he had several anonymous accounts that he used to pretty much say probably things he actually thought, and to criticize other pastors, but he did it behind anonymous accounts, and some faithful pastors we would look at and say are good faithful pastors, even like you said, even elders within his own church.
Yeah.
So and that's pretty much it. He was just going after, and it was usually very particular things. Like it wasn't like he was just outright going out there and saying, oh, these aren't believers or anything. It was like maybe something they said, and he would attack that thing or try and like leak information to someone about them.
I'll be honest with you. The part of the subject that, I mean, we're going to acknowledge that what this guy did, but that's not really the subject in a sense. Is like, the thing is like, I don't want to say it's irrelevant what he did. I haven't studied up on everything they said about everyone on these accounts, but it was bad enough to where he had to admit to it and he was confronted about it, and that they shut down a whole G3 conference. But beyond that, I think that we need to look at it in terms of how did he get there? Because you hear other men talk about him, and they were like, this isn't the guy that I know. Like this, I would have never thought that this would happen. Like this is like unbelievable in a sense. And I think that as Christians, sometimes we think like, oh, well, that's not me. I would never do that. I can't understand why somebody would do that. And I think that that's the wrong attitude to have. I think that we all can fall in so many ways, especially in something like slander. And as men, I think that there is a certain way to battle against it, and in certain ways to maybe, I think in his case specifically, that it would have helped had he done some of these things. But and we'll get to that. But I think that the fact of the matter is don't think that you can't end up there, because I could see, I was thinking to myself as like, how does a guy end up here? And I was thinking, how would that even happen? How would you create these accounts? Well, I mean, let's think about it in terms like this. You disagree with people, and you disagree with people involved in your conference and at your church, but you don't want to cause a big problem. And so what you do is you go create these other accounts where you can talk about these issues publicly without being attached to it, so it doesn't cause all the issues. And he might have been the most well-intentioned person in doing it that way. I'm not saying that was right. Do not get me wrong. But it's easy to fall down that path. And, I mean, I heard from someone that kind of knows the situation a little bit, said that that's kind of what it was, is that it started off not all that bad. Like, it was kind of maybe an outlet, I guess. And I just think it's easier to fall into than what we think. And I think that there's ways to get around that. But what do y'all think about that? I mean, do y'all think that there are certain things like that can lead to that? Maybe that we would think is beyond us, like, but isn't. Like that's easy to fall into.
I mean, absolutely. I think how you put it is good. I mean, all sin, in a sense, we find ourselves trying to justify it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can see it being, maybe you think like you don't even see the sin whenever it's coming. Sort of like what you're talking about.
Right.
It's like, man, well, this stuff is going wrong. I need to find some way to fix it without causing like these issues and all this stuff. And so I can see that making sense. And it's like we lose perspective of the big picture and what we're doing. And I feel like that's so easy with any and every sin. And so I think it's so easy for me, for any of us here to fall into something like that. And maybe I have, maybe I don't even know about it. And maybe I'm doing it in some other sense of some other sin. And I feel like whenever we approach these things, I feel like the safest sort of mindset is to have that mindset of, beware lest I fall as well.
Yeah.
And I not to excuse anything that happened or what he was doing, it was wrong. But, we need to consider the sin nature and then also how deceptive. Like we think for other people, yeah, that's deceptive for you, but not so much for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Just sort of the arrogance. And that's where we have to be so careful is pride, because that's whenever that deception is going to seep in another area where you don't notice it.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
Yeah. And I thought of with this particular thing too is like, and this, I don't know how else to put it, but almost like a kind of cowardice, but not is you're hiding behind, is like where you're hiding behind these anonymous accounts. And not saying just him in particular, this is a very common thing on X. Is people
easy.
hiding.
It's easy for social media.
Yeah, it's easy for social media to act like it's not real life, kind of, and you can kind of say what you actually think on there without the repercussions of where it's like, no, as a man, we should be willing to say what we think to the person, to whatever circumstances. Like that's what we actually believe. We should say it out loud and say it to And I also think what you're saying is like before people want to stand on their get on their high horse and think like this could never happen to me, is like, well, think of the private conversations you have behind closed doors of how quickly you slander even think of faithful men.
Yeah.
Think of faithful pastors that they say something that you disagree with, and then you just go right to just cast everything out.
Yeah. I mean, not even casting everything out, but it's like assigning intentions.
Yeah.
And I mean, I find that in myself. It's like I find something that someone says that I disagree with, whether maybe a pastor that's had a ministry for a long time or whatever, or even maybe someone else. I don't know. But it's like you hear something that they say and it really frustrates you and you think it's damaging even. But you go to the links to where it's like now you start to assign like bad intentions to it.
Yeah.
And that's where you can go wrong real quick. Is I think that we're to think the best of brothers, in Christ especially, and also we need to be humble enough to approach some of these situations to where we need correction too. But I do believe that one thing that I think that we do need to define too is that there is a difference between gossip and slander. I think that there is a difference. Gossip can be anything said behind closed doors that it's true though, but you shouldn't be spreading it. That's gossip. But slander is saying things that aren't true, that have hints of like misleading to them.
Yeah.
And saying that behind closed doors. And how easily can you get there when you start assigning intention?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because you don't know the man's heart. He might have the best of intentions for his flock if it's a pastor, or if it's someone else that's a believer that's kind of more well-known, writes a book that you disagree with it. and he could have the best intentions. And although you can come against it and say, look, I disagree with that, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. We need to be bold and say those things.
Yeah.
But to assign oh, well, he's just like, he obviously is doing it for these reasons. The truth is you don't know. And you need to think the best of him and think that he actually is trying to do his best and trying to help people. But I think it goes back to what Matt was saying earlier, and that is cowardice. And that's what I really wanted to focus on, because the one thing that it woke up within me is that, okay, am I doing these other things? And there was like, I could see seeds of it in my life. It's like, oh, yeah. That could lead there. That could lead there if I was to stay down there and bring it out, all the way and to a conclusion, essentially. And that was convicting enough after this came out. Like, I'm no better than anyone else. I think that I could fall into this, and I see those seeds there sometimes. But I think that what would help, especially in this situation, or any man in a church, when you have a problem with a brother, whether it be a pastor or not, we need to be willing to be bold enough. If it's a big enough deal to talk about, it's a big enough deal to bring up to him and go talk to him face to face. Then you're not slandering. You're having a conversation. You're talking to him face to face. You're going and you're having those conversations. Now, maybe it won't turn out the way you want. I don't know. You need to be respectful. You need to be loving. All those things. But it means that we, as men, we do need to be more willing to confront things. If it's a big enough deal to talk about behind closed doors and assign bad intentions to someone, then it's important enough to go talk to them. Mm-hmm. That's convicting. I'll be honest. That's very convicting.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I know I've been guilty of that. I mean, it's just like, man, not necessarily assigning attention behind it, but
and something that was kind of convicting to me is not that I've done this per se, just because I don't really have I don't use social media in that way.
I don't.
But I see this on X all the time, is how quickly people will, and even in what we're doing currently of like podcasting and stuff like that, how quickly people will turn on people over small details of right. They'll see a clip of somebody and they'll just attack them over that one particular thing, where I'm like, what's special with the Josh Buice situation is, it's like, these are brothers that he had contact with. It's not like some obscure other person or something like that. It's like, where we should, as men, especially if it's someone in our life, you should go to them personally first before you ever, social media aside, but you should go to them personally first and say, and confront them. If it's a big issue, if it is actually an issue, like saying, hey, if say it's someone that's teaching something you believe is false, you should go to them and say, hey, I think this is wrong. This is why I think it's wrong, instead of slandering them on social media and trying to get other people to join in and be like, don't you see how this is wrong? See how this is wrong? Like, I see that all the time on X, of how quickly people will just jump on somebody who, especially when it's someone who's been a faithful pastor. Yeah. And it's like, you just assume their intentions behind a 30-second clip.
We've talked about this. We've talked about it with, especially probably the person that we've talked about it the most about is Alistair Begg. Yeah. I think that people just throughout his whole ministry and just in a certain situation that he had mentioned, I'm not going back all through it, but we've seen it. We've seen it. And I think that just men need to be bold. Men need to be men, and we need to be able to confront each other, and we don't need to be having our feelings hurt so easily anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
And look, if somebody's preaching something that you disagree with, and you have your family exposed to it, then you need to be engaged with your family. You need to be correcting it if you think that it's that bad. Like, correct it with them and say, hey, look, I don't think that's exactly right. Let's correct it. But you don't have to badmouth the person. You can correct it at your home while also talking about that brother that's presenting that particular message or whatever in a loving way. Yeah. And that's the thing is like love should be the guiding the guiding thing factor in all that we do as Christians when we're dealing with other brothers and sisters in Christ.
and I think that if you don't have that for a fellow believer, then you already went wrong. Even if you're right, you're going wrong. And I don't know. It's just something to watch for. I don't know how much more we need to say about it.
Yeah. Well, one thing I was thinking of is I see people, I don't know, with Al-Shabeg, with all these guys, it's like they're quick to jump on and criticize them, and sometimes rightfully so. We should point out, not to counter what I just completely said, but you should point out error, things that's like
sure.
that. But in, like what you were saying, in a loving way, is if you believe this person is a believer, even if they're not a believer, you should still be loving.
And I would point out, I mean, there is a difference between false teachers and heretics.
Yes.
We're talking about people actually in the faith.
Yeah, but also this like almost this place of, I always think of it as like a place of pride. And I think Sam was kind of hitting on this, is like thinking you're above this, like you couldn't fall this way. Right. I think of like Steve Lawson or any of these other situations like Al-Shabeg or whatever, where it's like you couldn't misstep this way. Yeah. And it's like, no, it's a good reminder to remember. It's like, oh, we're all fallen. We still have our sinful nature. And it's like we can still fall into error or sin.
Yeah.
I
think it's just a warning for men to watch out and to be bold and be men. I mean, that's the thing about it, is like, don't create fake accounts to try to go against people. We need to be men about it. And if there's kickback, there's kickback. But I mean, the thing is like, also we need to take into consideration is like approaching a brother in private. If a sin or something said in private, then you approach them privately. If something is taught publicly, then you go to that person to see if they'll correct it publicly. And if not, if it's something major that they're preaching that's wrong, and there's a discussion to be had how to handle that. And I'm not saying I have all the wisdom in the world on that. I think it depends on what level it is.
Yeah.
Is it a gospel issue? Is it because that's a pretty big one.
And it can still be like I think you said it well, is it can still be done in love.
It can.
You can correct them in love and critique in love. And also it's like our the Christian response to these brothers who do fall into sin is not of let's just try and dig and find everything we can or whatever it may be. Man. It's pray for them, pray for that they're repentant, pray that they return to be faithful believers, whether they are disqualified as a pastor, whatever. It's like you can discuss that kind of stuff, but it's like we shouldn't be happy or like gleeful that these people fall away or something.
We should be happy that, like, okay, in this certain situation that we're talking about, we should be happy that he was caught.
Yeah.
Because there was damage being done. He was hurting other brothers and sisters, and for his sake, that he didn't continue down that road. And I think it's an instance where God is loving him and keeping him in the faith and keeping him on the straight and narrow, in a sense, getting him back on course by using the church to do it. But at the same time, we don't need to look down on this guy and be like, oh, man, now you've ruined it. Like, look, I think that we need to, you don't restore him to the ministry, but you do restore him as in a relationship as a brother if he's repentant. And we need to look at him and like say, man, praise God that he repented. Praise God that, that he's no longer doing that. And I know some people would be like, well, wait and see and all that. Whatever. I mean, I'd hate for everybody to sit there and look at me when I ask for forgiveness. Like, we'll see. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I'm not much on that. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need more wisdom. Fine. But if a guy's repenting and he's confessing, I'm good with it.
Yeah, and there's a difference between like someone like I forget, I'm blanking on, it's like Benny Hinn or whoever, who's like repented like 47 times of prosperity gospel and then
keeps going back,
proceeds back to it. It's like that's a different field there, but it's
I mean, there's extremes,
yeah, it's like versus someone who, like you said, it's different with they shouldn't immediately be put back because they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I sinned," and be put right back into ministry. It's like, no, I think it's wise to go, okay, well, you shouldn't be teaching in this moment, whatever it may be. And it's like, but we should be gracious with that person. And even then is like, now the discussion is people are like, oh, well, you're completely disqualified as a pastor.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, are you? What does the scripture say about this? We should go to scripture and see, and not saying this circumstance, but overall with these circumstances, are you actually disqualified? Like if this person is repentant and they come, back, it's like, is that wrong? It's like, that's a different discussion. I don't think you should just discount everything.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that we're kind of running late, so let's move on. But I think that's good things to talk about. It's good things to consider. If you're wondering why I'm facing to the side now, it's because my legs started to cramp up and I had to straighten it out. I was like, oh no,
the old Charlie horse,
so bad. Apparently, I need to drink more water. Anyway, something that I wanted to talk about was we were going to do a couple different things, and I guess we need to be kind of quick, so this isn't a 3-hour show. But I wanted to talk about. I was going to do a review of something, but I just wanted to actually put this out here. And look, I don't know if everybody that watches this show is good with drinking, whatever. Look,
to what extent?
Don't. Yeah, I guess that does matter. But the thing is like, look, don't get offended over this or anything. But I thought this was really cool that Evan Williams, every year now, don't they? Is this the second year of this?
No, it's been going on for a long time,
dude. I didn't even know. But anyway, I bought
like
last year's.
Well,
it's
like been over. It's a little over a year, right?
What?
Like it's probably about 2 years going on now.
No, it's been going on for. They release this
yearly
thing it's annually. A yearly release of a veterans. It's usually, I think it's supposed to be kind of around 4th of July type thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to lead up to 4th of July.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, but they get veterans to come pick a bunch of barrels and then they blend them and
so they choose 6 veterans and they actually have it in this little tag here who actually picked the barrels, and they pick them and you get essentially, it's called the American Hero Edition. So they take veterans and they allow veterans to go pick, and so you get essentially kind of a barrel pick, small batch, Evan Williams, and it's cheap. It's not like they raised the price on it. It's like I bought this bottle for like $17. But it's just cool.
Just cheap. It is also delicious.
Yeah.
It is
last year's
so good.
Last year's was really good. I've tasted this one, and I'll be honest with you. This year's, I would still say go get it just because. If you drink bourbon, whiskey, whatever, I would say just go get it because it's something that you can only get this year. But I just think the idea of it is cool that you take veterans and you let them pick the barrels and stuff. It's just such a cool idea. I'm all about supporting that. Look, we're not getting paid by Evan Williams or nothing.
Unfortunately.
Like
sponsored by.
I mean, they might hate the fact that we even have him in our video, but I appreciate it. I like the idea. I think it's cool. If you see one, buy it. Or not, I don't care, but
it's a cool, unique thing for sure.
It's a cool, unique thing.
And you get once a year.
Last year's was fantastic.
I got it for my birthday.
Oh, yeah, I did. I bought you that.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're also, I think that we were going to do a live tasting, though. So we're not going to taste the bourbon. Sorry. But we are going to do a, let's see. Matt, what is this? Tell me what this is.
All right, so you...
I can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference. So
There's
we got
a lot more Skittles than mine.
We got... Here, let me...
okay.
It's Skittles and Giggles, which is like supposed to be like a healthier alternative to Skittles. And I just thought it'd be funny to taste the both of them and see which one we prefer. Well,
Let's try them out.
Okay.
And then I can point out a couple key differences. I kept both the packages.
Can we start with the giggles?
I say that you start with the original, which is Skittles.
Skittles, yeah.
Okay.
You start with the Skittles so that you have the baseline here.
All right.
Of what it's got to meet.
I got orange here, so I'm going an orange Skittle first.
I'm doing purple and red because when you mix purple and red, it makes the perfect Skittle.
I'm spilling them. Okay, I'm just shoving a bunch in my mouth.
Have you ever heard people say that it doesn't matter what color the Skittle is, it's all the same taste?
I'm kind of one of those
Well, there's
people.
a difference between Red 40.
Oh, they're
then-
definitely different.
I mean, there definitely is a difference in flavor.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
different.
I love the taste of Red 40. You know, I can already tell, like, I'm getting, like, I can't focus on anything in particular.
I'm kind of angry already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I'm
a Skittle.
enjoying the Skittles still, so.
Yeah, I mean, they taste good. Just a quick reminder, though, for people, Skittles, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but Skittles have been sued over stuff they put in the candy. It's like not supposed to be consumed by humans, like some of the stuff they put in it.
Well,
Oh, well.
good.
But they're so Skittles are obviously like super bad for you. If you look at the ingredients,
Yeah, but Marshawn Lynch had them all the time during his games in the NFL. So they can't be that bad for you. I mean, he was beast mode. I mean, that's where we get beast mode.
But so like Skittles have like
There's a net.
absurd amount of the Red 40.
Not for long.
Hold up, Yellow 5. What's this lake? I don't understand. Blue 2, Yellow 2, Blue
Bluetooth?
1.
That's how
Yellow 6, Red 40 again.
Okay.
I don't know how they have 2 Red 40s.
Dude, I don't. This is all I know is I don't want to try this next one.
Yeah.
Look. So what is this called?
It's called Giggles. So it's supposed
Giggles.
to be like a knockoff for
Let me
them, and they have
just show
no
you.
artificial coloring,
look at that.
Yeah, it looks very.
misshapen.
Look at
Yeah.
look at this.
and they're made with
We're about to eat that.
cane sugar.
They definitely haven't perfected the art of making this sort of candy.
Well, no.
What country
that's
is
the
this made
difference
in?
Is you could say, oh, I just spilled it all over my lap. The Skittles.
What
I
country
did that earlier.
made?
Let's see.
Giggles?
Where are they made? It says they're Connecticut.
Will it make-
Product of Spain. Product
Will
of
it
Spain.
There's
me
the
giggle?
problem. There's the problem. It's the Spaniards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
some
mean,
people
good
would say it's a problem.
conquistadors, but candy, I don't know.
Some people would
Are
say
they
it's a
good
problem.
candistadors?
All right. So let's try.
Let's try it. Yeah.
Let's
So
try.
we try the Skittles.
Okay.
Let's try the Giggles.
Okay.
I already don't like it.
Nope.
They're really soft.
That is
They
the
are.
texture of an M&M.
That's really soft.
They are kind of older, so
Oh, it's the texture of an M&M, but Skittle-ish.
I mean,
hate this.
hey, if you didn't know about Skittles, though, it'd be good.
No.
they're good.
I mean, really, I
I'll
think
die
it-
on this hill that I think they're better.
Are you on crack?
What?
No.
Dude,
Giggles?
the texture of the taste is horrible.
I'll tell you this. I appreciate them more because I have a lot of crowns in my teeth, okay? I have a lot of tooth problems. So maybe I shouldn't even be doing this to begin with. I don't know. But, yeah, they're softer, and I feel like my crown isn't going to be uprooted because of them. Whereas the Skittles are so hard and sticky. I don't know. They're pretty good. I like them.
I don't.
I like them too.
I think they're good, dude. Yeah.
I think Skittles just absolutely mops the floor with them.
Yeah, but it's still
I think
like,
they're good. I don't know.
Is it worth
I'm gonna eat more Skittles.
eating chemicals
Yes.
Yes,
that
absolutely,
are poisoning
yes.
your body?
Yes.
Well, I don't eat Skittles that often.
I don't either. I couldn't even tell you the last time I even had a Skittle.
So if I'm eating Skittles once a year, then yes, it's worth it. Like it's definitely worth it. I'll get those toxins out of my body,
if
whether I
you're
sweat
eating-
it out, spit it out, snot it out,
Cancer it out.
cancer it out,
If you eat Skittles
Pee it out.
5, 6, 7, 8 times a
poop
year,
it out. Anyway,
it's worth it.
Yeah. Anyway, there's ways to get rid of it. Anyway, by the way,
I'm voting Giggles.
look, Maha, make America healthy again.
Yeah.
Skittles is gonna have to adapt.
Maha.
Yeah,
They adapt or they go.
they're gonna have to adapt. They're gonna have
I
to
wonder
adapt.
if they
We'll see.
can. You know, wonder what the Skittles.
I think it's just gonna be ugly, like all
Yeah.
one color, and I don't know what that color is gonna be, but I think they're gonna have to just like do something.
You know, you saying maha reminds me of mahi mahi, and these wonderful shrimp tacos I had. Not
beach.
shrimp. Why did I say shrimp?
I don't know. Fish tacos.
Fish tacos. Yeah,
Yeah.
Obviously. Mahi
That's
mahi.
a mahi shrimp.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I retired. I just retired. I retired. Gosh
So,
dang.
yeah.
Man. But I retired recently.
hey, but before we
Even
watch
though
this,
I talked about mowing and stuff.
hey, before we watch these, the Superman trailer.
Misspeak.
Okay, before we watch the Superman trailer, could y'all tell me what the #1 movie in the nation is?
Right now, currently?
Yes.
The Minecraft movie.
No. That's
Sinners with
so
Michael B. Jordan.
I would say probably Sinners as well.
Y'all are both, all of y'all are wrong. It's probably one that you would never think. Final Destination Bloodlines.
Dang it. I've been meaning to see that.
Okay.
I hope you're not giving spoilers here.
I'm not.
Are you still
Thunder. I'm just telling you
I'm eating the Skittles.
what's
right
#1. So as of Tuesday, Final Destination Bloodlines is at it's right over 6 million. Thunderbolts is right over 2 million.
Oh, that's just for this past weekend, though.
Yeah, that's at the box office right now.
Yeah, but this just 1 week, you know.
That's still who's at the top of the box. That's how this works.
Nah.
This week at the box office, it's
I was thinking overall, like what's currently in theaters.
okay. Let's break it down this way. Last weekend, Final Destination 51.6.
It came out last
Thunderbolts
weekend, though.
16.6. Sinners 15.2. I mean, I don't know what else you want. The Accountant 2 is, and that just came out. The
I do
Accountant
want.
2.
It came out like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's at 680,000. It's not even hitting a million. Minecraft movie is under 600,000. So, anyway,
For the week.
for the week,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about any of those.
they
movies.
count weekends. No, I'm just saying.
Besides Accountant, I do kind of want to watch Accountant and Accountant 2. I've never watched them.
I haven't seen them either.
I did watch Thunderbolts, though.
You did. How was it?
It was pretty good. It was good. It was different, which I kind of actually liked
Yeah, I wanted to see it.
because it was different. Is they didn't really like it wasn't your stereotypical like heroes just somehow find a way to beat the bad guy. It's like, you know, not to spoil the movie, but close your ears if you I'm not going to ruin it. But anyways, it's pretty much it's a different view of it. Like the movie's definitely obviously like focused on like mental health type stuff. Like that's kind of the premise of the movie. But I think they handled it well to where it wasn't like a hit you in the like it wasn't super obvious going into it.
Yeah, just to show you that, I don't know that theaters are gonna last. I hope they do because I love movies. I love the theater, all that stuff. I think that they have made things into awful.
They might just downgrade.
Yeah, it's just everything's being released now, and they're making decent stuff for just release at home. I don't know how it survives, but just to show you how much of a drop off there's been, I looked up the year. Now this is counting from May of last year.
Yeah.
So it's counting from that week of May last year till now. What do you think the highest grossing movie made overall in that year?
Of what year?
In the last
year.
52 weeks. I'm going to say probably like 600 million.
That's a good guess.
Dude, not even close. 33 million.
Oof.
If. Oof. 33 million.
Wait, what did Infinity War make? Wasn't
That's
like
wasn't
20,
that like
20
that's like
wasn't that like in the
2018.
billions?
Those
Yeah,
but
but-
what? Yeah,
but that just tells you
That's worldwide. Too.
we've got nothing anymore.
I
Like,
remember there has been movies. I think it was just Infinity War. I don't know, but that had like $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Endgame and Infinity War both broke $1 billion.
But think about that. That is crazy.
Second is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That was at 25 million. That's it.
That's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
I'm just telling
hey,
now.
maybe
That movie did.
Now
okay.
this is over the past year. Now, maybe if I backed it up a couple weeks, it might go further back. But
that could have been the end of the cycle of.
That's right. It could have been the last little bit that it made.
But still, your point still stands. Me and Lana have talked about this recently. Is the fact of like we went and watched the Thunderbolts and kind of enjoyed it, but we were talking about how there's like no good movies for a while. Like some of the last good movies, I thought Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was okay, and then I mean the last really like movie that I really enjoyed watching in theater that I can remember is Top Gun.
Top Gun Maverick was fantastic.
It was so good.
It was
Fantastic.
And it did
well.
Really well.
It did well. I'm not going that far back.
You know,
here.
the best
no one's
movie,
making money.
The best movie I've seen recently in theaters, thinking back, my mind always goes back to Romulus, Alien Romulus. Really though,
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
dude. Like I love those movies, and I hadn't seen them until this last year, when Jonathan, you introduced me to it. You lent me your Blu-ray DVD,
the Alien series.
yeah, watched it on Xbox, baby, and watched all through those. Me and Elizabeth loved them. I still remember Romulus though, and that's a good movie. That was my favorite. But I don't go to the movies much, so that's not saying much.
Okay.
And I love going to the movies. Like
I do,
going
but it
and
has to be worth seeing.
Seeing like great movies.
You
when
know
they
what
come out.
might be worth seeing?
The Superman movie.
The Superman movie.
But hold on. We're going to get to that in just a second.
Maybe. I sure
Maybe.
hope so.
I don't know. I really do too.
So I pulled up yearly. I was not playing.
What are you looking at right now?
This is box office something mojo. I don't know.
Okay, that's an accurate one.
Domestic yearly box office, 2025. Minecraft movie. It has done well, kind of.
Yeah, but it's a trash movie.
But it's a trash movie. It has made worldwide over $2 billion. Bro. But dude, let me show you the decrease. 2024, Inside Out 2 was the biggest one. $8 billion. Over 8. Almost
$8 billion?
Yes.
No way.
Almost $9 billion on the Barbie movie in 2023. $7 billion in 2022. 2021 was Spider-Man No Way Home, and that only made $4 billion compared to these other movies, which is insane. 2020 was Bad Boys for Life with $2 billion. Stupid. No way. But check this out. Check out this jump. $11 billion Avengers Endgame in 2019.
Yeah.
$11 billion Black Panther. $11 billion The Last Jedi. $11 billion Finding Dory. $11 billion. Dude, it's all over the 10 billions. I'm telling you, man.
Crazy.
Now we're hitting the high is 8, and a lot of it's 4s and 2s. Anyway, let's watch it. I'm stoked about the Superman movie. I am, because as much as people dog on it, I think it looks good. Let's roll that beautiful beam footage.
Beautiful beam.
You ever seen that commercial?
Are you being serious right now?
I don't think so.
Yeah. You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
He looks like Superman too. I like
Ready?
that.
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might.
A lot of fire.
It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're going to be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me and doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
buddy. Eyes up here.
Your choices. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
You have a dog?
I don't know. I think it looks kind of dope.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
I think it looks really good.
It looks like it's who was the old Val Kilmer?
No, Christopher Reeves. Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Was he Batman? Sorry, was he
He might
Batman?
have been
He was Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Before the
I'm not
nipple-
nerding
but-
out here.
Before the nipple Batman came out.
Yeah, okay.
I guess I didn't realize. Val Kilmer
Anyway,
was
you
Batman.
said something Reeves.
Old.
I can't remember. Sorry, I know that probably is offensive, but it reminds me of that kind of Superman. I guess that's what they were going for the whole time. It's sort of.
I think so. People are like dogging on it so bad because of the suit, because of everything else, and what I thought was interesting was, did we lose a camera? Yeah. Oh well. What's interesting is that people dog on it so bad, and it's like they're complaining about the outfit, they're complaining about the realism of it, and all that. But I think it's hilarious because, like, if you remember, like the Christopher Reeve Superman, he flew backwards around the Earth and reversed the rotation of it and reversed time itself to bring Lois Lane back to life. I mean, come on, guys! Like, and y'all are all fans of that. Like, I don't get it.
That's
Like,
pretty sick.
Give it a chance. I think that maybe it's not any good, but I think it looks good. It looks good. But there's something a little bit too much on the nose there. When the big lizard monster thing, the big giant thing's marching through the big city and destroying the town. Did you notice the ethnicity of the woman that he saves?
Asian?
Asian. So Godzilla, like if there's a big lizard, like the one person that he saves from being crushed, of course, is an Asian. I mean, I'll just say it's a little on the nose. Little on the nose.
They felt enough trauma from giant lizards stomping around cities.
For sure.
The only thing I could think of in that moment was that lizard thing was not so CGI. It was like very. It almost looked like puppety. Which
is that a word?
Yeah, sure.
Puppety. Okay.
Which I thought was cool. Again, that brings me back to thinking it's like sort of they're trying to sort of do a retro thing, which is cool.
That's fine. I like James Gunn, so maybe there's hope. Anyway, let's close this episode out. I don't know if we still have the emblem up to where we can pull it up and go out, or if it's just going to be my big ugly face on the way out. But there we go. Let's go. Join us next week, and maybe this will be posted online. We'll see. Later.